Welcome to the ONTC Huntsville project. This site-specific orientation will give you the information you need for working on the project with regards to safety and ELISTON expectations and requirements. Please familiarize yourself with the site contact information. All of the ELISTON site management team are available by phone. Contact numbers can be found on the job safety board in the trailers.
Site hours are 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Parking lot designated for visitors is the gravel parking lot on site. Visitor sign-in sheet is located with the site supervisor. The on-site health safety board/paperwork is with the site supervisor. This is where you can find important information like site emergency response plan, and all relevant health, safety, and environmental policies and procedures.
Our goal, like on any site, is to make sure that everyone is able to work and go home to their family in the same condition that they arrived at the start of their shift, healthy and safe. There is no job so important on our site that we can't take the necessary time to ensure it can be done safely. Safety is everyone's responsibility. No one wants to be working beside that person who doesn't care about their own safety or the safety of others around them. Hold yourself and others accountable for safety. If we all work together, we can get our work done safely and effectively. In the event that there is a need for an emergency evacuation at the Huntsville project site, you will hear 3 short blasts of an air horn, followed by a pause, and then repeated if it is a construction project site only evacuation. Stop what you are doing immediately if you hear either of these alarms, turn off any equipment, and proceed directly to the muster point. Supervision will take head counts for their crews and submit to ELISTON safety to ensure that all workers are accounted for. Everyone is to remain at the muster area until they have been informed of all clear by ELISTON site management.
Take note of the site map which shows the construction project work areas. Note the project emergency gathering muster point is at the ELISTON CCAN. Fire extinguishers, eye wash stations, first aid kit and AED is available in the CCAN.
Please note the Huntsville District Memorial Hospital is located at 100 Frank Miller Drive, Huntsville. It is approximately an 8-minute drive. ELISTON life-saving rules have been developed based on area of workplace safety where hazards are the highest. All personnel on ELISTON worksites are expected to be fit for duty at all times. Any personnel on ELISTON worksites who breach a life-saving rule will be subject to appropriate disciplinary action as determined by investigation findings, which can include termination of employment. The life-saving rules are as follows: working at heights, never be at or above 1.8 meters, 6 feet, in height, near openings or leading edges without a proper fall protection system in place, and always utilize measures that prevent tools, equipment and materials from falling. Guarding, never disable, bypass, or remove any required equipment guarding or render a safety device ineffective, and never enter an area cordoned off by red danger tape unless authorized. LOTO, zero state energy isolation. Never work on an energized system or equipment/machinery without authorized lockout/tagout. LOTO, in place, and always verify zero energy state before work begins. Confined space and restricted work areas. Never enter a confined/restricted space unless trained, authorized, and with an approved entry permit and rescue plan. Excavations and trenching. Never access an excavation deeper than 1.2 meters, 4 feet, that has not been adequately sloped, benched or shored, and ensure all underground facilities/utilities are located and marked prior to starting excavation. Hoisting and crane operations. Always follow proper safe lifting guidelines and do not walk under suspended loads, elevated excavator buckets or other similar equipment. Mobile equipment. While operating mobile equipment, wear a seatbelt, obey speed limits, use a spotter when your view is obstructed, and do not use mobile devices. All incidents and near misses. It is required that you report all incidents and near misses immediately to your supervisor and safety. Subcontractors of Elliston are required to submit a preliminary incident report, PIN, giving a brief description of the incident to site safety within an hour of incident occurrence. Final incident investigation reports with root cause analysis and corrective actions are due to be submitted to no later than 24 hours after incident occurrence. Reporting incidents immediately is important because if there are any corrective actions, they can be addressed immediately to eliminate a hazard or can be shared with other subtrades so they can prevent the same thing from happening with their workers. Supervision and safety can address corrective actions right away as to not cause further safety issues down the road. In the case of not reporting in a timely manner first aid or medical aids claims, your potential WSIB claim can be held up or even denied. When you report immediately to your supervisor and safety, it is documented immediately even if there are no claims at that time. Going to a doctor after shift or showing up next day reporting an injury leaves you unprotected. Incident reporting immediately is also a policy and requirement for site and Elliston. Failure to report immediately will result in disciplinary action. Always remember, incident reporting is all about prevention of recurrence, not fault finding. In the case of environmental spill, make sure you are safe. Step back and assess the situation, what it is the product that is leaking or spilling. If it is something that requires a safety data sheet, then it needs to be cleaned up properly immediately. Are there environmentally sensitive areas such as catch basins, public access, ditches, soils, or waterways that could immediately be affected by the spill or release? Notify your supervisor and Elliston site safety coordinator immediately of any spill, no matter how small. Start the containment and clean up. Get something underneath it to catch any additional spilling. The more collected from hitting the ground, the easier the cleanup will be. Create a dam or place material in the way to keep area affected by the spill as small as possible. Elliston has spill kits and materials for containing spills. Drip pans should be kept under equipment as necessary and when performing tasks where there is a potential for a release or spill. All workers on site are required to clean up their workspace at the end of the day or end of your work task, whichever comes first or whenever it becomes a hazard. As visitors and contractors have access around all of our work areas, it is extremely important to pick up tools and loose items and never leave them laying outside of enclosures to become a hazard or be misplaced. Workers are to ensure to remove and dispose of garbage and waste to the appropriate bins. Throughout your workday, all workers are expected to maintain all pathways and access points that they may be working in or near. Make sure they are free of tripping hazards to ensure safe access and egress at all times. Poor housekeeping is a hazard to all workers. As we are taking different break times on this project, everyone must ensure they do not leave their work area with potential hazards to other workers while they are gone on break. No one wants to have to wait or clean up behind another worker before they can start their own task. Make sure you clean as you go. Don't drop and go. If you keep your work area tidy and organized throughout your shift, at the end of your shift you do not need to rush to clean it up. You literally can just go home.
Cell phones and electronic devices on site are considered a high potential hazard as they are a distraction. That one little notification sound, ring, or vibration immediately takes our minds off of our task, which, depending on what you are doing at the time, can lead to a serious incident. The only personnel on site that are allowed to have a cell phone on their person while on site are management, owner, or client representatives, consultants, regulatory authorities such as MOL, site supervision for emergencies or work progress related purposes, and site safety coordinators. Workers should ensure that their family members have their supervisor's phone number in case of an emergency that they need to be reached during off-break times. For those permitted use of a cell phone on site, it is required that you stop to take the call, respond to the email or text. Do not walk and use your cell phone. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Workers can safely leave their cell phones and personal electronics in lunchrooms with their lunch kits. Workers caught with any of the devices shown above will be subject to disciplinary action up to and including removal from site.
Ellis-Don has a fit for duty policy that must be met. Fit for duty means a physical, mental, and emotional state which enables the employee to perform the essential tasks of his or her work assignment in a manner which does not threaten the safety or health of oneself, coworkers, property, or the public. Inclusive diversity. The expectation on every Ellis-Don worksite is for all workers to maintain a respectful environment that is free from all forms of harassment, promotes and values diversity, and prohibits any conduct that disrupts or interferes with another person's work performance. Ellis-Don does not tolerate any form of discrimination against any group or individual, customer, supplier, current or potential employee, on any prohibited ground as indicated by the Human Rights Code. Failure to align with this policy will result in action, including termination, removal from the site or office, and as required reporting the incident to local law enforcement. Your mental health is important. Taking care of your mental health is an essential part of processing your emotions in a healthy way. For our employees, access the mental health resources page found on the Ellis-Don employee portal. For our partners, access the Canadian Mental Health Association Workforce Mental Health Collaborative resources by visiting their website. National Suicide Crisis Line 988, also available by text at the same number or online chat at 988.ca. This concludes our site-specific orientation. Our goal, like on any site, is to make sure that everyone is able to work and go home to their family in the same condition that they arrived at the start of their shift, healthy and safe. There is no job so important on our site that we can't take the necessary time to ensure it can be done safely. Safety is everyone's responsibility. No one wants to be working beside that person who doesn't care about their own safety or the safety of others around them. Hold yourself and others accountable for safety. If we all work together, we can get our work done safely and effectively. Welcome aboard. We're glad to have you on the project. If you have any questions or concerns on site, do not hesitate to reach out to your supervisor, safety, or anyone else on Ellis-Don's site management team.